The whole idea of what is cryptocurrency has gotten so distorted with the advent of all of these tokens and projects. So, in 2010, 2012, 2015, crypto was just Bitcoin. And even then, you weren't really talking about the token. There was one problem you were trying to solve. And that problem was the separation of money and state. You were trying to get cash without any third parties involved. And Bitcoin was the heir apparent. It was the solution to that problem. So everybody was working on that. That was the problem. And everything was really framed by the problem you were trying to solve. It wasn't framed by what are these other projects? What are these other assets you can speculate on? Who's doing this? What's new? Everything is about solving the problem. eCash continues to be working on that problem, which, unfortunately today, at least as far as the markets are concerned, is a less popular problem than what's the next hot Solana meme coin you can buy. I still think it's a long-term important problem and a long-term incredibly valuable problem, because the whole point of cryptocurrency, it adds all of these negative externalities to money, right? If you could trust a custodian, if you could trust third parties, then you could have incredibly efficient monetary systems that work with databases and work with trusted third parties. The problem is you can't, so you need some of the inefficiencies in crypto to solve the trust problem. Today, though, you have so many inefficient cryptocurrencies that also introduce trust problems, and they're really addressing different speculative concerns. So eCash cuts through that. I'm not really working on it. I mean, yeah, you can make tokens on eCash. You can speculate on eCash. Nobody's trying to say you shouldn't do those things. But the point is separation of money and state. It's taking custodial third parties out of the monetary system and using cryptocurrency as a technology to solve that problem. And all of the inefficiencies in crypto are only worth it if you think this third-party problem is worth solving. So eCash is still focused on that. It's a cash-first problem. You need things that make cash useful. It has to be trustless. It has to have relatively fast finality. You can't just be sitting there waiting for a transaction to finalize before you go on your way. And it has to work. So we're really an empirically driven team, and it's about solving that initial problem.